History is often said to be written by the victors, but what if new discoveries could rewrite the narratives we've come to accept? Imagine uncovering elements that shift our understanding of the past, from massive dinosaur footprints to a valuable trove. Here are 20 unsettling discoveries that might change history. Number 20. Did the Romans discover America? It's common knowledge that Columbus was the one who discovered America. However, did you know that there are some claims that this isn't the truth? Rather than Christopher Columbus, some believe that it was the Romans who reached America first. The whole debate gained momentum due to various artifacts and inscriptions found in the Americas that some suggest could have Roman origins. One of the most talked about pieces of evidence is the so-called Tacoma Roman coin. This coin, discovered in the United States, was initially claimed to date back to the Roman Empire, stirring speculation that Romans might have reached the shores of America before Columbus. Another intriguing artifact is the Maine penny, a Norse coin found at a Native American archeological site in Maine, which does suggest pre-Columbian European contact, though not by Romans but by Vikings. This find is part of the evidence supporting Norse exploration of North America around the year 1000, notably led by Leif Erikson. So, where does that leave the Romans? Well, the Roman Empire was known for its extensive trade networks, reaching as far as India and China, and they were undoubtedly adventurous and skilled mariners. However, there's no concrete evidence, such as Roman-made artifacts directly dated and authenticated, to suggest they ever made it to the Americas. Even so, those who believe that the Romans were the first to reach America continue to dig for evidence. If proven to be accurate, this would inevitably alter history as we understand it. Number 19. The world's first temple. In the 1960s, researchers from the University of Chicago and Istanbul University discovered Göbekli Tepe, but instead of being studied, it was largely dismissed. Needless to say, this turned out to be a huge mistake. It was only in 1994 that excavations began, thanks to German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt. This marked the beginning of the discovery of Göbekli Tepe, a structure that might be the very first temple in the world. This site looks inconspicuously like another hill in southeastern Turkey, but in reality, it is a man-made structure older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids, dating back to 11,600 years ago. Before this study and excavation of Göbekli Tepe, we believed that humans started as hunter-gatherers. We relied on hunting and foraging, and then we learned to farm, settle down, build communities, and as those communities grew, they constructed temples and monuments. However, the discovery of this ancient temple changes the narrative. At a time when something as simple as farming and agriculture wasn't established yet, the construction of Göbekli Tepe comes off as a surprise. Why did people at the time bother to create a massive complex with stone pillars standing over 20 feet high and weighing up to 10 tons? What's the significance of this location? Moreover, how did they do it? With no written records from that time, we have no way of answering the questions. A ceremonial site, a simple place to rendezvous with fellow hunters? The truth behind Göbekli Tepe could possibly change humanity's history. Number 18. Gunung Padang, Gunung Padang, in the Indonesian language, translates to Mountain of Light or Mountain of Enlightenment. This location first caught the attention of researchers in the early 20th century, but it wasn't until recent years, particularly from 2010 onwards, that the site gained significant international attention. The site consists of a series of stone terraces and columns set atop a hill, about 2,900 feet above sea level. Carbon dating and geoelectric surveys suggest that the site could be more than 20,000 years old, making it one of the oldest known megalithic sites in the world. This dating has sparked a heated debate among scholars, with some suggesting that these findings could rewrite our understanding of prehistoric human civilization, particularly in Southeast Asia. The complexity of the site suggests a high level of architectural, astronomical, and spiritual knowledge among its builders. Some theories propose that Gunung Padang was not just a settlement but a significant ceremonial center, possibly linked to ancient Sundanese beliefs. The arrangement of the stones, some weighing several tons, indicates a deliberate design, likely with religious or cultural significance yet to be fully understood. However, the true age and purpose of Gunung Padang remain subjects of ongoing research and debate. If the truth is confirmed, this could very much change history. Number 17. Denisova Cave Artifacts. Nestled in the rugged terrain of the Altai Mountains in Siberia is the Denisova Cave. These caverns might not look like much from the outside, but they are among the most significant locations in the world. It was in 2008 when researchers discovered just how astounding these caverns are. You see, lying deep within these caves, scientists unearthed a tiny fragment of a finger bone. It might not sound like much, but subsequent DNA analysis revealed that it belonged to a previously unknown group of ancient humans, later named the Denisovans after the cave. But why is this discovery so groundbreaking? Well, it introduced us to a whole new chapter of the human family tree. Before this, we knew about our ancestors, Homo sapiens, and our close cousins, the Neanderthals. However, the Denisovans showed us that our lineage was far more complex than we had initially thought. Genetic evidence suggests that Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and Denisovans not only coexisted but also interbred. That's right, the DNA of modern humans from certain parts of the world contains snippets inherited from Denisovans. But the Denisova cave has more secrets to reveal. Alongside Denisovan remains, scientists have found artifacts and evidence of habitation by both Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. But perhaps the most astonishing find is a bracelet made of green chlorite, estimated to be around 40,000 years old. This bracelet shows signs of advanced tool use and a sense of aesthetics, challenging our assumptions about the technological and cultural capabilities of ancient humans. Each artifact, each bone fragment discovered in this cave, reveals something new about human history. Now, who knows what other secrets lie hidden within these caverns? Number 16. Rango Rango. Now, you're probably already familiar with the statues of Rapa Nui, the massive heads overlooking Easter Island. Those statues are part of a mystery. However, the Rango Rango is another puzzle. Rango Rango consists of hundreds of glyphs, including representations of human figures, animals, plants, and geometric shapes, carved onto wooden tablets. We've only discovered this way of writing on the island around the 19th century. However, its origins can be traced back to 1722, perhaps even earlier. The discovery of Rango Rango is usually attributed to Eugene Hérode, the French lay missionary who reported seeing the glyphs in 1864. Since then, various researchers have attempted to decode the script, with theories ranging from lunar calendars to genealogical records to narratives of island mythology. Despite these efforts, Rango Rango remains undeciphered, leaving us with more questions than answers about the people who created it. Unlike anything from Polynesian culture, these inscriptions suggest a form of writing or proto-writing that could unlock the secrets of Easter Island's past. One of the biggest challenges in deciphering Rango Rango is the lack of a Rosetta Stone equivalent. This bilingual or trilingual text could provide a direct comparison between Rango Rango and a known language. What's more, the catastrophic impact of European contact on Easter Island's population led to the loss of those who could read the glyphs, severing the oral tradition that might have preserved their meaning. Number 15. The Cooch No Stone. In 1887, archeologists discovered a slab measuring about 42 by 26 feet. It's covered in intricate carvings known as petroglyphs, making it one of the finest examples of prehistoric rock art in Scotland, if not Europe. This stone features a mesmerizing array of swirls, geometric shapes, and cup and ring marks, a kind of ancient artwork found by many prehistoric sites across the world but rarely in such concentration or complexity. The Cooch No Stone's origins are shrouded in mystery, believed to date back to the Neolithic or early Bronze Age, some 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. The common question to these structures is the motive behind their construction. Some theories suggest the markings could have been used for astronomical calculations, as a form of ancient calendar, to mark the seasons and track celestial events. Others propose they may have had a spiritual or ritualistic significance, serving as focal points for ceremonies, or as maps to navigate the landscape of sacred sites. However, the Cooch No Stone's journey through history hasn't been smooth. In 1964, due to concerns over vandalism, it was decided to bury the stone under the soil to protect it from further damage. For decades, this prehistoric masterpiece lay hidden from view, its secrets buried with it. It wasn't until 2016 that efforts were made to uncover and study the Cooch No Stone once again. However, we have yet to discover and learn all of its secrets. Number 14. The Shroud of Torin. The Shroud of Torin should have been an ordinary piece of linen cloth if it wasn't for the image it shows. You see, the face imprinted on this cloth is said to portray the likeness of Jesus Christ himself. This image was allegedly made when Jesus Christ was crucified. For Christians all over the globe, the shroud would be an incredibly significant piece of evidence if found true and verified. Despite centuries of being the center of intrigue, the shroud remains mysterious and riddled with questions. Researchers believe that its history and origin date as far back as the 14th century, when it made its first documented appearance in France, particularly in 1353. The real turning point in the shroud's history came in 1898 when it was photographed for the first time by Secondopia. The negatives revealed a startling detail. The image of the shroud appeared more detailed and lifelike in its negative form, reigniting interest and speculation about its origins. Unfortunately, findings about this cloth seem to contradict one another. Radiocarbon dating tests conducted in 1988 by 3 independent laboratories showed that the shroud was dated between 1260 and 1390. This means that it was not old enough to have been the burial cloth of Jesus. However, this conclusion was far from the end of the story. Critics of the dating test pointed to potential contamination and the possibility that the tested samples were from a medieval repair rather than the original cloth, arguing that these factors could have skewed the dating results. And so, to this day, the truth behind the Shroud of Torin remains a mystery. Number 13. Ulbert Swords. About 170 of these old swords have been found scattered across Europe, from Scandinavia to the riverbanks of the Volga. Despite looking ordinary, they're renowned for being the finest swords ever created, known as the Ulbert Swords. These weapons, that can be traced back to the Viking Age, are shrouded in mystery. We know these swords were made from crucible steel, a material with high carbon content. Its material and the way it was forged were centuries ahead of its time in Europe, with the quality not seen again until the Industrial Revolution. But how did these Viking Age blacksmiths come across such advanced metallurgical knowledge? Archaeologists believe that the secret of these swords lies in the trade routes that stretched far beyond the Viking homelands, possibly reaching as far as the Middle East or South Asia, where the technique to create such steel was already known. The high carbon content in the steel of the Ulbert swords has made them exceptionally strong and flexible compared to other swords of the era, capable of being both sharp and resilient in battle. Another bizarre thing about these swords is their inscription, which roughly reads Ulbert, hence its name. It suggests a single maker or possibly a workshop branded with this name. However, variations in the quality and authenticity of the swords found with this inscription suggest that while some were the real deal, others were imitations. Number 12. Richard III's grave. Richard III is among the most renowned figures in Europe. His reign as a king was shrouded in drama, even more sensationalized and popularized by the great writer William Shakespeare himself. Richard III, among the former kings of England, perished in battle in 1485, but ever since his death, his remains were buried and forgotten. That was until 2012 when archaeologists discovered the remains of a man beneath the city car park in Leicester, England. This discovery solved a 500-year-old mystery behind King Richard III's final resting place. The breakthrough came when they uncovered a battle-scarred skeleton with spinal abnormalities buried in a hastily dug, unmarked grave. The condition of the spine was particularly telling, as historical records mention Richard III as having a hunchback, though this term may not have accurately described the king's condition. The moment of truth arrived with the DNA analysis. The skeleton's DNA was matched with that of living descendants of Richard III's family, confirming the identity of the remains with near certainty. Radiocarbon dating further supported the evidence, placing the date of the individual's death right around the time Richard III fell in the Battle of Bosworth Field. The reburial of Richard III in Leicester Cathedral in 2015, attended with full honors and widespread public interest, marked the final chapter in this remarkable story. Number 11. Staffordshire Horde. In the summer of 2009, in a field near Lichfield in Staffordshire, England, metal detectorist Terry Herbert stumbled upon what would become known as the Staffordshire Horde, one of the most significant hoards we've discovered to date. This treasure collection is the largest bulk of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork ever found, with over 3,500 items consisting of several pounds of gold and silver from war gear, sword pommels, and helmet parts to decorative fittings and more. This hoard dates from the 7th or early 8th century, a time of warring Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. This has led historians to speculate about the hoard's origins. Was it a tribute, or loot, or offerings to the gods? While we're at a loss, the hoard's value is already significant. You see, the sheer volume of precious metals challenges previous assumptions about the economy of early medieval England. Who would have thought amassing such a large amount of wealth at the time was possible? Number 10. The Antira Mechanism. Unearthed from a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901, this device has puzzled and amazed scientists, historians, and technophiles alike. Imagine a complex hand-powered ancient Greek computer dating back to around 100 BC, more than 2,000 years ago. The Antikythera mechanism, with its intricate system of bronze gears and dials, challenges our perceptions of ancient technology. Before its discovery, such sophistication in mechanical engineering was not believed to have existed until the medieval period centuries later. This device, however, used a series of over 30 meshing bronze gears to create a model of the sky for astronomical purposes. It could predict eclipses, track the lunar calendar, and follow the paths of the sun and moon through the zodiac. Its exact purpose and how it was made remains a mystery. Some speculate it could have been connected to renowned historical figures like Archimedes or Hipparchus. Although thoroughly studied, we have yet to learn everything about this curious mechanism. Number 9. The Vinka Symbols. In 1875, archeological excavations by the Hungarian archeologist Baron Zsófia Torma at Tordos revealed marble and pottery fragments with unknown symbols. These symbols came to be known as the Vinka Symbols. The Vinka Symbols, consisting of various lines, swirls, geometric shapes, and abstract figures, immediately captivated the imagination of archeologists and historians. Despite their potential significance, the true purpose and meaning of the Vinka symbols remained shrouded in mystery. Scholars have proposed various interpretations, ranging from religious or ceremonial purposes to early attempts at record-keeping or conveying complex ideas. However, without a clear means of deciphering these symbols, their exact significance continues to elude us. Number 8. Largest dinosaur footprints. In 2017, scientists announced one of the most significant discoveries regarding paleontology: the largest dinosaur footprint. This groundbreaking discovery occurred in the rugged and remote Kimberley region of Western Australia. The largest footprint measured a staggering 5.6 feet in length. This means that an average human could lie inside these footprints. The footprints date back to the late Cretaceous period, around 90 to 115 million years ago, the time when dinosaurs roamed the Earth. The discovery was part of a broader study that mapped thousands of footprints along a 25-kilometer stretch of coastline, revealing a diverse dinosaur ecosystem that once thrived in the area. The sauropod footprints indicate the presence of some of the largest land animals that ever lived. These gentle giants, with their long necks and tails, roamed in herds, grazing on the high canopies of ancient forests. Number 7. The Ark of the Covenant. According to the Christian Bible, the Ark of the Covenant is a gold-covered wooden chest containing the 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, as well as Aaron's rod and a pot of manna. In the book of Exodus, the Ark symbolizes God's promise to the people of Israel. This artifact can be traced back to more than 3,000 years ago, around the 13th or 14th century BCE, when the Israelites, having fled Egypt, wandered in the desert. During this time, according to the Holy Book, God instructed Moses to build the ark as a container for the covenant or law given on Mount Sinai. Crafted by Bezalel, the ark was made of acacia wood and overlaid with gold, with 2 golden cherubim on top. It was housed in the inner sanctum of the tabernacle and later in the Temple of Jerusalem, built by King Solomon. The ark wasn't just a silent witness to the wanderings of the Israelites in the desert. It played a central role in various events described in the Bible. It was carried before the Israelites during their conquests, famously leading the way in the crossing of the Jordan River and the Battle of Jericho. The ark was believed to possess extraordinary powers, causing the walls of Jericho to fall and bringing misfortune to the Philistines when they captured it. However, the whereabouts of the ark have been a mystery since the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem in 587 BCE. The ark's disappearance has fueled countless theories and expeditions to locate it. Some believe it was hidden by King Josiah or Jeremiah the prophet before the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem. Others speculate that it ended up in Ethiopia, where the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims it resides in the Chapel of the Tablet, near the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. Yet, no one outside the church's priesthood is allowed to see it, leaving the claim unverified. If discovered, the ark would be among the greatest and most significant artifacts known to man. Number 6. The Baghdad Battery. In 1938, archaeologists discovered something incredibly out of place while excavating near Baghdad, Iraq. Batteries that date back over 2,000 years ago. However, this battery is nothing like the ones we use today. It's a small clay jar, not much to look at first glance, but inside it contains a copper cylinder that encases an iron rod. This artifact, dating back to the Parthian period around 250 BCE to 224 CE, is known as the Baghdad Battery. This artifact has captured the attention of historians and archaeologists for good reason. After all, if the Baghdad Battery is indeed a battery, it would mean that ancient civilizations might have had a rudimentary understanding of electricity long before the modern era's discovery and harnessing of electric power. Researchers found that by using an acidic or alkaline substance, such as vinegar or lemon juice, they could theoretically produce an electric current from the assembly of materials in the Baghdad Battery, similar to a simple galvanic cell. Let's say this jar wasn't meant to be a battery. What could be its possible use? Some have speculated that it might have been used for electroplating, giving a thin layer of gold or silver to other metals, a technique known as gilding. Others, however, suggest it could have had a ceremonial or medicinal purpose, perhaps used in pain relief, similar to how we use electrical stimulation in medicine today. Unfortunately for us, its mystery remains. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. This discovery should have been kept a secret. While drilling in Africa, miners discovered something astounding: a drilling tool resembling modern machinery. This massive, circular tool with spikes surrounding it seem to have been used for heavy drilling. But what civilization could construct something as enormous and sophisticated as this tool? While some believe that this drilling tool is another out-of-place artifact, some think that it's a significant artifact that could rewrite history. Unfortunately for us, we're yet to confirm anything about this artifact. Number 5. Ancient Egyptian Tunnel. Cleopatra VII is the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. She was among the most renowned figures in ancient Egyptian history, yet, strangely enough, her tomb remains undiscovered. However, the discovery of the geometric tunnel might change this. Recently, archeologist Kathleen Martinez of the University of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic and her colleagues unearthed the structure 43 feet below the ground. This tunnel, about 6.5 feet tall, is believed to be hiding the resting place of ancient Egypt's last queen. This tunnel, carved with precision and thought to date back to the Ptolemaic period, exemplifies the advanced engineering skills of ancient Egyptian builders. However, the exact purpose of the tunnel remains a topic of ongoing research, and whether or not it hides Cleopatra and her lover's tomb remains unknown. Number 4. Yanagi Monument. In 1986, local diver Kahachiro Aratake discovered something that intrigued many beneath the waters off the coast of Yanagi Island, Japan. Aratake was already familiar with the features beneath the coast, and so, imagine his surprise when he noticed a seemingly man-made structure underwater. This became known as the Yanagi Monument, and this structure remains among the most debated discoveries today. This enigmatic site consists of seemingly man-made terraces, steps, and huge platforms that some claim to be remnants of an ancient submerged city, possibly dating back over 10,000 years. If true, this would drastically rewrite history, pushing back the timeline of architectural development and civilization. The monument is a collection of sandstone and mudstone formations, about 165 feet long and 65 feet wide. Its most iconic feature is a massive, flat-top pyramid-like structure that, according to Aratake, resembles those created by early civilizations across the globe. But the big question is the Yanagi Monument truly a man-made structure? On one side, some researchers, led by Professor Masaki Kimura from the University of the Ryukyus, argued that the monument's sharp edges, right angles, and what appears to be carved markings suggest it was man-made. They proposed that it could have been constructed by a prehistoric civilization, possibly predating the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower and Yanagi Island was part of a larger landmass. However, there are also those who argue otherwise. Some believe that the monument's features result from natural geological processes. They suggest that sandstone formations, prone to fracturing along straight lines, could naturally erode in a way that mimics the appearance of architectural construction. A man-made structure or not, if the answer is the former, this would revolutionize the way we understand human history. Number 3. Cave of Altamira. Located in Cantabria, Spain, is the Cave of Altamira. This cave is among the most significant archeological sites we've found yet. In 1879, Marcelino Sanz de Sacciuola and his daughter Maria stumbled upon the cavern and were instantly stumped by the vivid paintings of bison, horses, and other figures on the cave ceiling. Initially, the authenticity of these paintings was met with skepticism. Critics couldn't believe Stone Age humans could create such detailed and realistic art. It wasn't until similar discoveries were made in other parts of Europe that the significance of Altamira was fully recognized. Today, this cave is hailed as the Sistine Chapel of Paleolithic art. For a short while, the cave was open to the public, but after noticing the decay of the paintings, it was closed once again to preserve the paintings. Instead, a replica was created beside it for people to still experience the cave's wonders. To this day, however, many continue to believe that we have yet to unlock all of the secrets of the cave's paintings. Number 2. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, the Baltic Sea Anomaly was discovered by the Ocean X team, a group of Swedish treasure hunters. While they were searching for an old shipwreck, instead of finding a historic wreck, they found this bizarre feature on the seabed. This massive, strange object, resting on the ocean floor, is about 295 feet beneath the surface. Initial sonar images revealed an object approximately 200 feet in diameter, featuring remarkably straight edges and what appeared to be circular formations, leading to rampant speculation about its origins. Some suggested it could be a UFO crash site, an underwater Stonehenge, a sunken Russian ship, or even an ancient architectural structure. The Ocean X team reported that this anomalous structure had features resembling stairways, straight walls, and a flat, mushroom-shaped silhouette, fueling further theories about its unnatural origin. However, not everyone is convinced that the Baltic Sea Anomaly is a remnant of extraterrestrial visitors or a lost civilization. Some geologists propose that the Baltic Sea Anomaly isn't, well, an actual anomaly but rather a natural geological formation. For example, some believe it could be a glacial deposit left behind from the Ice Age. This theory is supported by the fact that glaciers have been known to transport large boulders and create unusual formations on the seafloor. Despite the more scientific explanations, the Baltic Sea Anomaly continues to be a source of fascination and debate, and the lack of concrete evidence and the difficulty of underwater exploration in this region have prevented a definitive conclusion about its origins. Number 1. A void in the pyramid. We've been studying what the ancient Egyptians left behind for centuries, yet it seems like the secrets of this great civilization are never ending. It was in 2017 when the most unexpected secret of the pyramids was revealed. Within the confines of the Great Pyramid, overlooking the Giza Plateau, was a void that had never been seen before. Using non-invasive scanning techniques, archeologists were able to observe this bizarre void. It measures about 98 feet in length and lies just above the Grand Gallery, which is the long sloping corridor that leads to King Khufu's chamber. Why it was made or what it's for remains unknown. This void reawakened our interest in the pyramids of Egypt. What is this void? Why was it made? And what secrets does it contain? Archaeologists believe that perhaps this void is nothing but a structural feature, but there are also those who believe it contains the secrets of the great civilization. If the void was indeed designed for a functional purpose, it could suggest that our current understanding of the pyramid, mainly as a tomb, might be incomplete. There might have been additional roles or significance attached to these structures that we have yet to understand. For instance, could the Great Pyramid also have served as a monumental record of architectural and engineering knowledge, a time capsule for future generations? Let's say that the void also contains artifacts or inscriptions. If this is the case, it could provide us with new information about the culture, religion, and daily life of ancient Egypt during the reign of the great King Khufu. What do you think about these discoveries? Perhaps we missed other significant archaeological finds. If so, feel free to share them in the comments down below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and we'll see you in the next video.